Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin, January 1st. Luis Ortiz came back to earn the TKO over the former heavyweight title holder Charles Martin in Hollywood, Florida.
Trying to stay on his feet.
Ortiz staggered Martin with an overhand left, forcing him unable to counter.
Body attack by Ortiz.
And he's showing us how to do it right here. Oh, he's gone.
King Kong quickly follows up with a flurry and scores the knockdown, leaving Martin with his glove tied up in the ropes. As a result, Martin was not able to beat the 10 count, and that prompted the referee to wave the fight off. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, April 23rd. With 10 seconds left in the 6th round, Fury lands a left jab followed by a right uppercut, which put Whyte sprawling to the canvas with a numb look.
Just over a minute to go in rounds.
Although Whyte was able to beat the count and rise to his feet, the referee deemed it unsafe for him to continue, halting the fight after 2 minutes 59 seconds of the 6th round, declaring Fury the winner by 6-round technical knockout. Christian Thun versus Amron Sands, March 25th. Christopher Thun of Germany defeats Amron Sands of Florida in a heavyweight battle on March 25th. Thun overpowered Sands with wild and quick thrust, the chase sending the opponent back into the corner, followed by a series of devastating punches to his head. The Florida boxer's dull and painful appearance caused the referee to stop the fight in the last seconds of the 1st round. Bakhtiar Jalilov and Jack Mulawai, June 10th. Jalilov dazed Mulawai with a counter left, putting the challenger into misery, then blasted him with one more wild uppercut. Mulawai landed flat on his back with a sickening thud, and referee Estevez instantly waves it off and summons medical assistance in the final moments of the 8th round. Kenzie Morrison versus Hasim Rahman Jr., April 29. In the 5th round, Morrison struggled to time the swinging left hook and kept marauding forward, continuing to chase his opponent.
The uppercut up there, he just...
A wild right-hand stab immediately followed to Rahman's head.
Morrison, whatever rock you can get. That one hurt.
Not long after, Morrison lands 2 rapid-fire hooks to the face, leaving his opponent exhausted and collapsed on the floor.
Morrison's not okay.
Got a minute and a half.
He's not okay.
Is Arslanbek Makhmudov versus Maurice Wach on February 19th. Makhmudov successfully defends his WBC, NABF, and WBA, NABA title against challenger Wach in Montreal, Canada by technical knockout. In the 6th round, Makhmudov unleashed a barrage of big shots, including a right hand to the jaw that put Wach down. Wach got up, but he stayed in serious trouble, and the referee waves off the fight. Jose Larduet versus Dusan Valatek, February 19th. Larduet, in an aggressive spirit, comes forward, delivers a short left hook to the head, causing Valatek to duck his head in defense. Right after that, Larduet's 3 consecutive wild punches go straight to Valatek's face, leaving him exhausted and unable to counter. The referee then waves the game off in the 8th round. Is Stephen Shaw versus Joey Daweshko. This is January 29.
Laying hands on Deveco.
After battering Daweshko during the 6th round, a confident Shaw let his hands go and he had his way with the fading Daweshko again in the 8th round.
In the training camp leading up to the Olympics, the way he trained me, good shot right there from Shaw.
A more aggressive Shaw drilled Daweshko with a right hand that backs him in the corner.
Now he's got to chip away at Joey Deveco here in round 6.
Yeah, it's about that time.
And he lands enough power punches to convince Daweshko's team he's taken enough punishment.
The show me stay right, so I'm telling Shaw, show me something, baby.
He just showed up
The end of this line. Don't let him make go the distance.
Ali Aaron Demizirin versus Gerald Washington, January 1st. Ali Aaron Demizirin, he claims victory against Gerald Washington, and it's in Hollywood, Florida on New Year's Day 2022. Early in round 8, Demizirin unleashed a sharp, straight right hand that immediately appeared to hurt Washington, who began to wobble to avoid a follow-up attack with his puffy face. Victor Faust versus Iago Kaladze, January 1st.
Uses as a measuring tool.
Faust knocked his opponent down many times in less than 2 rounds into the fight.
Here's the right hand that Faust is known for, and then he threw that left hook.
Finally, Faust's brutal left hook catches Kaladze's face, sending him back to the floor with a numb expression. Kaladze got up on wobbly jello legs and wanted to go. However, referee Samuel Burgos stops the fight at 1:44 of round 2. Nathan Gorman versus Thomas Salek, June 17.
They're underway. Nathan Gorman rounds, and as Richie talked about carrying.
Gorman dominated the troubled Czech heavyweight right from the outset.
Chose the left hook off that jump from Gorman. Yeah, really good start. Goes
He
to the
clubbed Salek whenever he got the chance. Gorman kicked off a left hook that kept Salek's head down.
good body shot went in as well. I think that slowed him down, but he's really pulling on the pressure.
Followed by a violent uppercut and left hook, putting his opponent down barely a minute into the match.
For that fight against Daniel Dubois, mentioning with what was going on. Left hook, right hand from Gorman. Great accuracy.
Is Lucas Brown versus Junior Fay, June 5th. The Australian nails Fay with a big right hand early in the 1st round, which left the Kiwi in the wrong way. Then Brown lunged forward and threw a big overhand right that dropped Fay right in the corner with a numb look. Fay got up, but he was in serious trouble.
Clear his head.
A thunderous.
He attempted to hold on and ride it out to get the facilities back, but he just couldn't. Zan Kosobutsky versus Johan Duhaupas, May 21st. He focused all of his attention on his opponent's top section, then unleashed 2 sharp right-hand stabs, stunning his opponent. Right after that, a body shot catches Duhaupas in the stomach, sending him to the floor with a blank expression on his face. Daniel Dubois versus Trevor Bryan, June 11th. Daniel Dubois knocks out Trevor Bryan in the 4th round on Saturday night in Miami to claim the WBA regular heavyweight belt.
One thing I've noticed here, there's a good shot already from Dubois.
That's another good right hand that gets it over
In the 4th round, Dubois had little to fear and pushed his assault further after a devastating left hook sent Bryan stumbling into the ropes.
Still 20 seconds left here.
Not long later, Dubois lands a 3rd big left hook, which proved to be the fight's final punch. sending Bryan crashing face down to the canvas with the referee waving off the match.
Yeah, that's lovely.
It's a great shot by Dubois that has...
Is Simon Keane versus Shondell Winters, February 19th. From the outset, Keane overpowered aggressively, causing Winters to lean back on the ropes. Keane then delivers 3 consecutive left jabs to the face, followed by a right-hand punch, leaving his opponent dumbfounded and defenseless. Ed versus Barrera.
Barrera doing clowning with a clown.
With some royal blood.
Round 7, it appears.
Marco Antonio Barrera scores a comprehensive 12-round unanimous decision over Prince Nassim Hamed, handing the bombastic Englishman his first defeat in 36 pro bouts.
Is fighting the way he is. Big left hand by Barrera inside.
Every round, Barrera
is not looking in.
Big left hand by Barrera. Big left hook by Barrera.
On the left hand, but he hasn't thrown anything with it.
Barrera surprised everyone by imposing his boxing skills on the Sheffield-born power puncher. The Mexican's skill set and accuracy was dazzling at times.
not taking that advice. He's going for it.
I think Barrera has already shown with his chin. Listen, before the fight, and if he loses, it's because...
Mike Tyson and James Buster Douglas.
Not intimidated, he wants to keep it going. Buster landing these, oh nice uppercut by Buster Douglas! Early. That right hand to throw. Closing seconds of this, the first one. Wow! With the right hand is Buster Douglas. Mike comes through. Probably would be Mike at any time.
James Buster Douglas was the first boxer to defeat Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas shows up with quick jabs and made the most of his 12-inch reach advantage over Tyson.
Octavio Moran. Oh, there's a telling blow by Mike. Instead, his Buster coming back. And that big left hook, and there he goes, headhunting. No, he can't get careless. Look at that! I haven't seen Mike in this kind of trouble before.
Iron Mike was sent crashing to the mat for the first time ever after an uppercut followed by a 4-punch hook combination in the 10th round. Tyson was counted out by referee Octavio Moran, giving him the first loss of his career.
You see, oh, there's Mike missing that big launch to drag this into some later rounds. But there was a rigid fight.
Mike Tyson's first loss is considered to be one of the biggest upsets in boxing history.
It's up to 7 and 8. He's not gonna make it. Buster trying to finish this thing, and you get an idea Mike is trying to finish that all night. Oh, there's a nice uppercut. That's 9, and I expected Mike. Look at this. Look at Buster. We got him again. Buster fights back strongly, landing some big shots. Look at Mike actually grasping the hang. Look at these. And these in, but Buster landed 2 or 3. And look at this.
James Buster Douglas, he's back, versus Tony Tucker.
Just shorten the ring up. It's at ringside, and it is not.
Tony Tucker finishes James Buster Douglas with a flurry of punches and wins the International Boxing Federation heavyweight title.
Now we talked about what a good amateur Tucker is, and Tucker...
Douglas seemed comfortably ahead when Tucker suddenly hit him with a right hand, 105 into the 10th round. The punch knocked Douglas into the ropes, and Tucker was on him quickly, hammering with a series of punches that moved him across the ring.
On the right hand would make up there. A fighter.
Douglas unable to defend himself against the onslaught, and referee Mills Lane moves in and stops the fight at 136 as Tucker continued flailing punches to Douglas's head.
It was debate sub-12 field. Pardon 1 minute. Tucker, because if one.
George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. It's October 30th, 1974, and 32-year-old Muhammad Ali becomes the heavyweight champion of the world for the second time when he knocks out 25-year-old champ George Foreman in the 8th round of the Rumble in the Jungle in a match made in Kinshasa, Zaire. It's Vladimir Klitschko and Corey Sanders. Corey Sanders from South Africa knocks out Klitschko 27 seconds into the round to take on the WBO heavyweight title in a major upset at Hanover, Germany. Sanders caught the 6'7", 240-pound Klitschko with a short, hard left with 33 seconds left in the first round, and then put him down on the canvas 3 more times. The outcome drew boos from the crowd of 11,500, angered over the brevity of the fight and the unexpected result.
Being asked a perfect left hand, and
He was able to come back and knock the
left hand that Sanders is hitting him with.
and he's attacking to try to get out of trouble instead of holding. And this is not going to go well. Another knockdown. The fourth.
Lennox Lewis versus Hasim Rahman.
See, Desmond has a terrific record in terms of the knockouts. There was come forward. Oh, uppercut once again.
The 5th saw the fight come to an emphatic end, backed up into the ropes. As he looked to preserve energy in the final minute, Lewis drops his guard. Rahman senses his chance to strike, and he sends in a right hand, landing flush on his rival's chin.
Away in considerable style, and maybe as a combination. Short right hand in. To be fair to him, he came back, and that right hand of his has come in.
The Rock, a 20-1 underdog, claims the WBC, IBF, and IBO heavyweight titles in sensational fashion, flooring and defending the champion in the 5th round in Gauteng, South Africa. It's Manny Pacquiao versus Lalo Ledwaba.
And remember, whenever you have this situation, boxing, make them decide. That's exactly what Emmanuel Stewart was saying to me in the punching bag.
Pacquiao was still unknown in U.S. boxing circles and enters the ring as a big underdog in his U.S. debut. By the end of the night, his name would be on the lips of hardened ringsiders. Ledwaba was decked by a left hand in round 2 and overwhelmed throughout the match. Pacquiao was at his devastating best. One of the most incredible runs in modern boxing history was underway.
That's a rude awakening for a good master boxer like Ledwaba. Tasted his own blood in round one. Out of his corner between rounds. Throw the left hook, land the left hook.
Roberts trying to stand his ground and just throw the right hand. The guy's right there in front of him. Fighter, he had no idea.
Hey, I feel.
In the eyes of Red Waba.
Mikey Bay versus John Molina.
Oh, Bay, how is he still standing?
Unbelievable. A fighter can take 30 hard punches to the cheek and the side of the head and the neck without getting wobbled. And he can have his orbital broken and swell out a gruesome hematoma and still keep his wits about him. Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua won. Joshua's fans witnessed one of the biggest upsets in heavyweight boxing history. Ruiz drops Joshua before the bell around 3, then stalked and banged up the British star, scoring a knockdown in round 7. Joshua gamely fired back and landed some choice shots, but was ultimately overwhelmed and sent to the canvas again on what looked like a slip. But when he got up, he couldn't convince referee Griffith he could continue. Usyk versus Derek Chisora, October 2020. The brilliant Ukrainian Oleksandr Usyk uses his superior footwork and stamina to wear down Derek Chisora and win a unanimous decision victory at Wembley Arena. It was a classic matchup as the slick southpaw Usyk shows beautiful footwork and speed to avoid most of Chisora's winging right hands while landing counter at will. The 7th round, and Chisora is clearly staggered by a powerful flurry from Usyk. Del Boy had become worn and exhausted later in the fight, and the decisive victory belonged to Usyk after 12 rounds. Oleksandr Usyk and Marco Huck, September 2017.
Who resides here in Berlin. But again, you see
Usyk pounded Marco Huck and stopped him at 212 in the 10th round at Max Schmeling Hall, Berlin, Germany. Usyk landed at will from the opening bell with power shots from all angles. Huck threw one punch at a time, but it wasn't enough for Usyk. The Ukrainian answered with continuous punches and dealt great damage. He lowered his massive arm to the head and torso, stunning his opponent.
such proud defiance in every.
After Usyk's combinations, there's little to no response from Huck until referee Robert Byrd stops the fight in the 10th round. Oleksandr Usyk and Tony Bellew, November 2018. Oleksandr Usyk retains his Cruiserweight Championships with a devastating knockout of Tony Bellew at Manchester Arena.
Round distance.
The opening rounds were a firefight with waves of attacks from both sides. They were hit and fired off counterattacks that spurred and enthralled the crowd. Usyk danced around like a teenager for every second of the fight. The Ukrainian overpowered Bellew and forced him back into the ropes several times. The end comes courtesy of a scintillating two-punch combination punctuated by a big straight left hand, sending Bellew crashing to the canvas with a bloody face in the 8th round. Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua, September 2021. Usyk improves to a 19th consecutive win, while Joshua tastes defeat in front of a home crowd of 68,000 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. With good technique and skillful feet, Usyk could stay away from the big Joshua power shots and jump in with double jabs. The Ukrainian dominated most of the fight, rocking Joshua in the 3rd and 11th round with devastating punches.
Joshua there. Good right hand though from Joshua.
It's the 12th round, and Usyk ends the battle with a barrage of power shots that sent Joshua to the ropes on unsteady legs.
Sweet science. The alternating and the lateral movement changing angle.
Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr., December 2019.
The pride of Mexico.
This was a rematch between Joshua and Ruiz, and it took place in Diriyah, Saudi Arabia. On the night, Joshua boxed a discipline fight, keeping Ruiz at a distance with his jab and using lateral movement to defend. AJ starts well, landing a sharp right hand that cut Ruiz to the left of his eye.
It's nice to see that.
The Mexican has some success when he stuns Joshua to the head and body, but Joshua remained firmly in control of the action. And he's winner via a unanimous decision to reclaim the unified heavyweight title. Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin, September 2018. Anthony Joshua retained the heavyweight titles in a fight against Alexander Povetkin at Wembley Stadium. Opening rounds with more of a feeling out, with Joshua utilizing jabs. AJ cuts Povetkin with a right and used the jab more effectively. Then the British boxer continues to get fits with the left hook uppercut combination. It's getting to the point that Joshua needs to think about stopping the Russian by devastating jabs and shots to the head and body.
I'm going to answer that. Yes,
now on his heels.
After round 7, it's knockout time. Joshua dropped Povetkin with a vicious right hand to seal the pulverizing TKO victory at 159 into the 7th. Anthony Joshua versus Vladimir Klitschko, April 2017. Joshua again winning by TKO in a high-drama contest against Vladimir Klitschko. In the first 4 rounds, both fighters were fighting close to the vest and cautious. Then Joshua throws a barrage of wild punches, getting enraged and counterattacking with rabbit punches. AJ then put together a few small, powerful combinations to exhaust his opponent. Moments later, he tried to end the fight by swinging for the bleachers with a few right hooks and managed to back Klitschko into the ropes, where he again sent a barrage of punches with no reply. The referee then concluded that Klitschko had taken enough and stopped the fight. Martinez versus Josh Warrington 2.
Somehow success for Martinez, but Warrington responds.
It was built to be exactly what we want to see.
Is this going to be, and was that the last attempt by Martinez? He's covering up on the ropes here now.
Josh Warrington is the new IBF World Featherweight Champion after stopping Kiko Martinez in round 7 in front of a sold-out crowd in Leeds. Warrington began to find his speed and power in round 7 after being subjected to some Martinez body shots in the 6th.
And Martinez is having to cover up on the ropes here, and he isn't firing back after a solid shot. And this crowd going wild here. How big that was.
After rocking Martinez early on, Warrington unleashed another barrage of quick combinations. He then blocked up Martinez onto the ropes and unloaded before the referee ended the contest.
Sensational first round finish. Half a minute for Martinez here to survive.
These are heavy shots.
First up, Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano 2.
Looking to walk him down, Castano going to the body, and then
Castano landing.
The sneaky right hand of Castano, and it's proving to be that early.
Yeah, he's got a better hand.
In round 10, the left hook finally came as Charlo lands the shot that led Castano to hit the canvas on a delayed knockdown. While Castano beat the count, Charlo stormed forward with a fight-finishing flurry, ending on an uppercut and left hook to the body.
Thinking about the defensive side from Charlo.
Combination by Castano.
Nice right hand.
Oh, and cheered by Charlo again. Clipped him with the right and the left, standing his ground, but
the fight closes out a 2-fight rivalry. Saw both men show tremendous heart and skills, but ends with Charlo as the man holding 4 world championships at 154 pounds.
And there he doubles up and stopping him with what was really done.
For the first time with some head movement, he was clear. Let's see if that makes it get in.
Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua 2.
Usyk firing back.
In round 9, Joshua battered Usyk around the ring, seemingly stunning the champion multiple times throughout the round. However, Usyk stays on his feet and shows true championship qualities in the final 3 rounds of the fight.
As Joshua now in pursuit. Usyk.
Beginning in round 10, Usyk tags Joshua with heavy shots multiple times. Joshua's lower stance disappears, and he begins to fight with straight-up slow legs, and Usyk takes over and ensures a well-deserved victory.
Usyk has the tendency, whenever you have a good round, a left hand downstairs.
Oh! Lee Wood versus Michael Conlan.
And he's having success. Conley here could be the end of this fight. Wood needs to hold on and just keep out of the way.
Wood produces a stunning comeback win to halt Michael Conlan with a brutal knockout and retain his WBA regular world featherweight title.
Featherweight title in this sizzling atmosphere.
At the start of the 12th round, Wood launches a ferocious, relentless attack, which leaves Conlan out on his feet before the Irishman collapses through the ropes, falling backwards out of the ring.
It's a good risk sliding, keeping his chin out of danger, then answering that. The judges will see that now scoring, but soaking up too many left crossers. Back comes Lee Wood again. This level of courage, this level of resistance as Lee Wood follows.
Conor Benn versus Chris Van Heerden.
There's that overhand right from McCarthy.
He's found his timing a bit better in this round.
Benn blasted Van Heerden in 2 rounds in front of a boisterous Manchester crowd. At the start of round 2, a well-timed right hand hurts Van Heerden, and it's obvious he won't recover.
He is open here. Is he beginning to really?
Benn continues the attack and manages to floor Van Heerden with the 3rd man halfway through his count. He decided to call things off as Benn wildly celebrated.
Smith, in the end, has created the difference between
Sebastian Fundora and Erickson Levin.
Has him pressed in the corner. And
Sebastian Fundora had dazzled with his height in this fight with Erickson Lubin in Las Vegas. They call him the Towering Inferno. He can throw punches from seemingly every angle.
He's feeling it. Lubin is stunned.
In this fierce clash, it saw both boxers hit the canvas. Fundora prevailed when Lubin's trainer, Kevin Cunningham, stopped the bout in round 9 due to Lubin's grotesquely swollen face.
Performance by Lubin and an answer. And it's for Lubin. Oh my goodness.
David Avanesyan and Oskari Metz. Avanesyan blasted the Finland-based fighter to the canvas midway through the opening stanza, and there was no way back. Metz tried desperately to hold and buy time, but his equilibrium was shot, and he was helpless. The referee initiated a standing count when Avanesyan was midway through his second assault, calling a halt to the slaughter. The official time was at 2 minutes.
He's going to go here. He's going to go. It's all over. It's going to be all over.
Alexis Roca versus Blair Cobbs.
Can sometimes throw opponents off with the weight.
Roca was in an entertaining action fight with Cobbs. Cobbs started the fight well, mostly matching with Roca with combinations and power shots, but
10 rounds.
Nice straight left by Roca.
Roca just missed with that left hand, a big left hand.
Roca would eventually level Cobbs with a nice right uppercut in round 8. And with Cobbs on shaky, wobbly legs, he was finally finished off with a lengthy flurry in round 9. The official stoppage comes at the 44-second mark in the 9th.
Land those straight lefts, and that's exactly what's happening, and he's landing them more and more.
The pendulum swings.
And Rocha with the body shots. I want to see more body shots from Rocha.
Errol Spence and Yordenis Uga.
In the opening minute of the 8th, and Spence left hand over the breaking his momentum.
Spence unifies the WBC and IBF titles with the WBA belt from Yordenis Uga.
He's a tough man to deal with, and that's with Zoom right now. And right there is when you know.
Distance looking to land the uppercut.
Fight, and he hopes that pays dividends.
With a thrilling TKO in Arlington, Texas. By the 10th round, Spence stormed to hurt Ugas repeatedly to the body and eye. Ugas' right eye was completely shut, and referee Lawrence Cole stops the bout at 1:44 into the 10th round.
That I'm liking right now.
Yeah. The ire of Derek James when said Spence isn't the same since the car accident. And now, of course, coming back from the
has simply not thrown a lot of punch of note because he's dormant.
Gennady Golovkin and Ryota Murata.
Absolutely, yeah. And part of the reason I enjoy Triple G's style is a big drama show.
Triple G, kind of the classic.
Golovkin lands a right hand that spelted the end for Murata. Despite his best effort to stay in the fight, another backhand rushed over and floors Murata.
Ryota's not giving Triple G.
And the towel sensibly flies in from the corner with the match ending at 2 minutes, 11 seconds.
There's that good left hook from Golovkin. A slight step back from Murata.
Next, it's Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. There's no titles on the line for these 3 meetings. The 3 fights between Gatti and Ward became an all-time masterpiece as these two slug it out. In the 9th round, a 1-point deduction and a knockdown caused Gatti the first fight. May 2002, it's a majority decision loss.
From the way Gatti went back to the corner, most of this fight would have been stopped right now.
6 months later, Gatti bounces back with a lopsided, unanimous win. With another room to make definitive endings in the rivalry, the two finally face each other in their 3rd match in June 2003. but this time it was way more competitive compared to the first or second, as the Canadian closes the chapter by stamping another unanimous decision victory and also to send Ward into retirement. Next, it's Manny Pacquiao and Eric Morales.
And he merely stands his ground in the middle of the ring and takes a right hook from Manny Pacquiao, who was so much better with his right hand.
Mexican great Eric Morales and the Filipina icon Manny Pacquiao head into 3 entertaining matches in the middle 2000s. The battle between the two fighters produces an incredible trilogy. The second match, though, very different, as Pacquiao turns the tide with a 10th round TKO in January 2006, setting up a must-see third fight.
And we thought Morales was going down. Oh, and he does go down.
It's 10 months later, and Manny Pacquiao seals the rivalry with a stunning 3rd round stoppage of Morales to claim the WBC International Super Featherweight title.
Morales again countering properly upstairs.
Now it's Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe.
To the body by Evander Holyfield.
And the left. So far, this is a very good round for Evander. Again, Holyfield scores.
Almost every great boxer has their adversary, and in Evander Holyfield's case, it was Riddick Bowe. Both fighters had fought 3 times during their career between 92 and 95.
George, he's landing that right-hand lead. Is Holyfield the champion?
Not only that left hook to the body.
Bowe claimed a dominating unanimous decision over Holyfield in the first meeting in November 1992, claiming WBC, WBA, and IBF heavyweight titles.
Struggles to stay on his feet. What a heart by Holyfield. Gets away from a right hand, blocks the nusses out of Holyfield's mouth. It could be all over.
Okay, here's the early action in that round.
A year later, Holyfield redeems himself and reclaims the titles from Riddick Bowe in a close majority decision triumph.
Yeah, with Muhammad Ali, I wasn't in shape, but I said I can whip this old guy.
But the third encounter saw a massive setback to Holyfield's career as he was dealt an 8th round TKO beating in November 1995. It was only the 3rd loss in Holyfield's professional record.
If I'm the Holyfield's corner, I'd throw in the towel.
And inside by Holyfield, and now down goes Evander.
A right
hand by Bowe. 3rd knockdown of Holyfield's career. Here's the end.
Next, it's Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. In front of a crowd of 18,000 at the Staples Center, Wilder and Fury fight a 12-round split decision draw, meaning Wilder retains the WBC title. Mexican judge Alejandro Roquin scores the fight 115-111 for Wilder. Canadian judge Robert Tapper has it at 114-112 Fury, and British judge Phil Edwards has a 113-113 draw. The crowd booed after the decision. The rematch, far less competitive than the first fight, with Fury putting on a dominant performance, knocking Wilder to the floor twice en route to a 7th round stoppage after Wilder's corner throws in the towel to save Wilder from more punishment. Tyson Fury ends the trilogy, 3 fights with Deontay Wilder, with a TKO in round 11. Wilder, when entering the match, brought in a new look with more initiative against his opponent. The mutation occurred when he rose up in the 4th round thanks to 2 consecutive punches. although before that he was the one overwhelmed.
He is the most destructive, powerful.
And he just landed a right hand that wobbled Tyson Fury.
However, Wilder didn't have too many situations to press the opponent before completely succumbing to Tyson Fury's 11-round punch.
Showed in the first two fights. Wilder's got
We start with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Who would have forgotten this legendary rivalry between boxing's heavyweight icons, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier?
That was a hole in the first round, and Muhammad Ali knows that.
The pair first faced each other on March 8, 1971, in the first fight dubbed as the Fight of the Century at Madison Square Garden. The ending result, it's a unanimous decision victory for smoking Joe Frazier. Ali lost his unbeaten record on that very night.
A good exchange.
In the first two rounds, Ali looking great. However, his command of the contest was halted by a big Frazier hook late in round 3. Frazier finished strong in the 15th and final round, and the 3 scorecards were all in his favor.
They're in a lead corner, and Ali is hurt.
In the rematch 3 years later, in January of 1974, in the same venue, the Big Apple, Ali exacted revenge to win and equalize their head-to-head record at 1-1. Then the rivalry is settled in the third bout, October 1975. It's the Thriller in Manila. The already exciting match further elevated its hype with the heavyweight title on the line. Ali made sure to put this historic chapter in his favor as Frazier's corner throws in the towel between the 14th and 15th round to score a corner stoppage where Ali becomes WBC and WBA World Heavyweight Champion. Tyson Fury versus Steve Cunningham.
Fury working on the jab.
And now I'm getting properly prepared for these fights. Good shot by Steve.
The Gypsy King makes his American debut in stunning style, climbing off the canvas to win. This fight was billed as Fury's toughest test. Cunningham was a former 2-time World Cruiserweight champion, but was notoriously tough, having served in the U.S. Navy for 4 years. The youngster used the shot as a motivation to bully and dominate the smaller foe, followed by a sickening right hook 2 minutes and 55 seconds into the 7th round, ending the contest.
Back in the second round by Steve Cunningham. A chance with that reach advantage as he...
Fury versus Vladimir Klitschko. This was Fury's 24th fight of his career, and his life changed forever after he beat Vladimir Klitschko. And the reign of the Ukrainian boxer also came to an end. On fight night, Fury entered the game well. He used speed to do a lot of dodging, as well as dodging the powerful hook and right-hand attack from Dr. Steelhammer. Klitschko appeared to fight more aggressively, but the Gypsy King did the same and traded punches with him. And when the bell sounded, most people felt Fury had done more than enough.
Also ein kurzes Intermezzo hier in Runde 3. Schulbuchmäßig. Weiter.
Oleksandr Usyk and Maris Briedis. Usyk's win over Briedis in the semifinals of the World Boxing Super Series Cruiserweight Tournament was considered one of the hardest fights of his career. It was an enthralling encounter with great skill, great heart, and great action from both champions, with little between to separate them. Usyk's performance drew praise from many people. Oleksandr Usyk just about did enough to win a majority point decision and a second World Cruiserweight title. Joe Joyce versus Bermane Stiverne. Joe Joyce and Bermane Stiverne both got off to a fast start, with Joyce throwing a ton of punches in the first round and Stiverne doing his best to land a big counter shot, which he did on a few occasions. But Juggernaut Joe proved capable of taking the shots from Stiverne, and the veteran's gas tank soon emptied. With that win, Joyce retained the Commonwealth heavyweight title and now says he has his sights set on climbing the ranking. Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz won. Heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder, nearly knocked out and out on his feet in the 7th round, hangs on for dear life and comes back 3 rounds later and knocked out the Cuban slugger Luis Ortiz. It was a vicious right uppercut by Wilder that ended it for Ortiz before referee David Fields stops it with 2:05 in the round. In the rematch, Wilder breaks open a one-sided fight where he was being outboxed in round 7 with one straight right hand that finished Ortiz in a devastating knockout in their pay-per-view rematch at the MGM Grand Garden Arena.